What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Let's let the live stream populate a little bit. We'll get started here. Sorry, I'm a little bit late tonight, folks. Usually pretty prompt at around 8 o'clock or whatever, but 8:15 or whatever. But 8:30 just happened to be the day, the time today. So big shout out to you guys for joining me this evening. Supporting the Liberty Gears, supporting these guys here in Michigan. They faceplate my T56, they faceplate transmissions, and obviously supporting Hanlon Motorsports for all my transmission needs, etc., etc. So shout out to the guys in green, my club members. You guys make this dream come true for me. This whole Foxbody channel thing. So I appreciate you guys for supporting the channel and all you guys here in the live chat as well. So let's get started. Today, we're basically, okay, well, one more thing. The topic of the evening is going to be more or less, the horsepower mods. Like, I had gotten into a pretty good conversation with one of our channel members in the Foxbody community here, Jason Fields. You guys see him here in chat. You got a chance to meet some of them, or you got a chance to meet him possibly down at Foxtoberfest if you were down there. I think he did bring a car, if I'm not mistaken. But I got into a pretty good conversation with him. He won a Hanlon Motorsports, or he needed a shifter or something. I don't know. Remember, we got into a conversation for about 15 or 20 minutes, and that kind of what sparked up the idea of this whole live stream is about horsepower mods, and it's like making them work for you. So like, I'm going to use a lot of my experiences that I've had with certain mods and certain things with my cars, and the things that's made me successful, not only on the street, but at the track and just at the dyno. We got into a good conversation, and I've talked to other people, Foxbody related stuff about same thing, like making the horsepower mods. Like, to be honest with you guys, I don't necessarily have anything specifically, out of the ordinary. I mean, I just started, doing some serious mods to my white car, but I've always tried to keep it 100 on the channel, and I always try to keep it budget and cheap. And I like to bring that stuff, bring that sort of content to you here in the channel. And that's basically the basis of our whole channel over the last 10 or 15 years. But anyways, that's pretty much what our conversation is going to be about tonight, is making the mods, the build, and the horsepower that you're making or want to make work for you. And I'm going to use my white car as an experience, my dad's car, my black car, whatever. So I'm going to give some shout outs here. What's up, Mark Turner? It's good to see you, man. Good to see you guys. KP, Adventures with Super Dave. Always a pleasure. Depends, Polly. Okay. What do you think? Jimmer was like, what do you think, single or twin? Just a single. What's up, Dan Robinson? Good to see you. My Summit Racing Tech. Good to see you. OG Foxbody. Wheels look killer, man. I appreciate that. We're going to get the rears on as soon as we can. We ran out of time, though. You guys see the videos. I did that strange break video. I know it was 18 minutes and it was long. I edited it really well. I try to bring that type of quality to the channel, because I want you guys that are going to be stepping into a larger brake system to know, like, if you're pretty much going to be like going into like a Strange or a Willwood or a TBM type of brake, you're probably already know that you're looking to do a little bit of like weight reduction on your car. So you're kind of looking at your options on which one is better. Now, as far as pure braking power, my Cobra brakes that I had on here with the big I think they're 13-inch. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. The PBRs, the drilled slotteds. Man, I had those things on there with the same pads, to be honest with you, for like 5 years. And I didn't even wear the pads half off. So it was really good. It was a really good braking system. It was heavy, but let me tell you what. I didn't even need rear disc to get that thing to stop, even at 150 plus miles an hour. So I was making that mod work for me. It kind of hurt my feelings cutting the spindle a little bit, because at that point I can't go backwards. You know what I mean? So let me get some more shout outs. What's up, Broken Tool? Jacob. Hanlon Motorsports is in the house. Are we doing another giveaway today, Hanlon, or did that certificate get claimed last week? What's up, Pimp? Good to see you, my man. McBride Racing, time for some cage. That's right. So, did he get his Docal R8 in? Did he get the doke out? I'm assuming that's Stevie. Is that you, McBride? Good to sit down. Super busy Sunday. Yeah, man. Let me tell you what. I was busy all day. You know, we had. Let me just give you a one-up of the current events that happened this past week. We did a couple shorts on YouTube. I put up one of my better passes of the year, just as a short video last week. If you didn't get a chance to check it out, we did the master cylinder change, which, to be honest with you guys, I wasn't even really like, when I did that, I had no idea that that master cylinder was that bad. And like, I can't for the life of me get in my car and go down the track knowing that in my brain I'm leaking brake fluid. So whether it was little or a lot, it didn't matter. It had been like that for a while, and that's kind of how dumb shit happens, is when you don't pay attention to your mods. So being that it was a 30-plus-year-old mod from I actually pulled that off a V6, that's a 95 Mustang V6, because they're the same master cylinder and spindles. So those all came off a really, really nice 96 that was racked. 95, excuse me. Anyways, but we did that video, and then it led us right into the strange brake video, which I really wanted to do for you guys for the information. And honestly, it's to give you, you know, a little bit of back brief on the brakes. The brakes stopped amazing. Like, there was one thing I was super worried about, was the fact that the rotors weren't vented. So when you start getting into like TBMs and strange brakes, you start getting into like drag brakes per se, you don't have a vented rotor. So the rotors don't cool down very well, not fast, like the other brakes would. You know what I mean? They would get a little air up in them, whatever, vented. So long story short, you know, I was a little bit worried about fade. I'm gonna be honest with you. We've driven the car probably another 100 miles, breaking the brakes in, and we took it to a no prep Saturday night, and no problem stopping. I mean, it was like there was no change in brakes. Matter of fact, it's a little bit better than it was before, and that's saying something. So what's up, everyone? What's good, pimp? Those PBR brakes, great, stop, great. Yeah, I agree. So I mean, I had the Cobra PBR brakes. As if you guys, it's a dual piston. They're pretty light. They weren't as heavy as I thought they were going to be. Yeah, what's up, Stevie? It's good to see you, my man. Yeah, so we got to take our white car over to McBride Racing, or Stevie, or, you know, him and his dad are going to finish up our cage setup. It's kind of overdue. See, the problem, guys, is the fact that it's not that I didn't put it in there a long time ago. It's the fact that it needed updated, and when it was time to get it updated, I had to like schedule it. Like, the material wasn't there. Like, we're all having that issue right now, like all over, you know, all over the place. I mean, material, aluminum, steel, back orders, you know what I mean? So the same thing was happening, you know. I was ready to update that thing, and we got some good steel in finally. We're going to go ahead and send it over there, and they're going to do some good work to it and finish it up for me. Brakes just slow you down. Yeah, let's do one tonight. What giveaway do you want to do, Andrew, and for Handling Motorsports? And oh, speaking of which, you guys want to do an unboxing real quick? I was gonna do this in a video. I probably still will do this in a video, but I want to show you a new product that we were talking about on Facebook. It's kind of relevant for the channel because we also own a TKX. So let's open up the box, and I'm going to show you, give you my first impressions of what we got in the mail the other day. So for you guys that don't know, the black car that we drive around, my street car, has a 18805 327 first gear. I think that's a close. Is that a close or is that a closed or open ratio? I don't remember. I think that's the, or is that the wide or the close? That's the wide. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. What's up, Danko? What's up, country? What do you use hood scoop for? What do you use your hood scoop for? What do you mean? It brings air into my air into my engine bay, takes it right out the back. So we're gonna do this real quick, and then we'll start talking about the So we got this from Hanlon Motorsports this past week. For you guys that are ordering and or have ordered a Tremec TKX, this is one of the better things that you could probably do to your TKX. Now, I'm not saying that the stock shifter didn't work right. You guys all know I'm a stick shift guy. I probably never drive an auto, but there's nothing wrong with that. But it's just the way it is. I prefer stick shift. You know, this is kind of huge right here because, you know, I want to see. I got this in the mail because I want to put this in the black car or whatever. But stock bottom end 3021 spray. What do you mean, Danny? Okay, so this is the new TKX shifter by Hanlon Motorsports. Now I know Andrew's done a hell of a job making sure that all these parts are. I think this is one of the first ones that he built. Yeah, I think he had another guy he had sent one to, but you know, definitely done right. You know, the turret seems really, really nice. It's got, I think it's like 30% or 27% lower shifting, whatever. But this wasn't cheap, man. This is all anodized. I think he said it was anodized. What's up, 417 Fox? It's good to see you, my man. Haven't seen you in a while, Mike. It's good to see you, man. But yeah, it's got a nice little spring to it, bro. Very nice. Very nice, very nice. So this is what's going to go in the black car on the TKX, and then we're going to take it to the track. I haven't taken the black car to the track, but we've done some mods to it that you guys don't know about yet. We're going to try to beat our PB from last year, which was, I think, what did we go? 972 or 978? I think it was a 78. I don't remember. It's been so long since I've really pushed that car to its limit. But that's another one, you know, making the mods work on your car. Guys, I got a 31 spline. Now, I do have a full spool in the black car now, but for years and before I never broke it, but I took the Explorer differential out of it. I mean, we can get into the conversation about junkyard mods, and we can get into the conversation about budget mods. And I got one really big-ass budget mod going on right now with that 387, and I'm trying to keep you guys all in the loop on every step that we take with that engine, because if we do it right, and it's really that budget, it's really an option for when you start really getting into the budget rebuilds and stuff like that. So Foxbodies and Freedoms, getting long tubes to fit on a 351, it's really giving me problems. Yeah, that's not an easy task. Secondhand parts are really getting hard to find and come by. Yeah, so I agree with that. The Ford headlights, what headlights are you running? I think those are those Euro ones. Man, I ain't changed those in 20 years. It is what it is. So, you know, again, getting back to it, making Foxbody horsepower mods work for you. You don't have to. One of the biggest conversations that I had earlier in the week, and you know, we'll come back to the shifter later on. I actually want to show you guys the T56 shifter too. I do have a brand new one as well that's supposed to replace the one that's in here because it's leaking from the seal because I've used it for like 3 years and it just needs to be touched up a little bit. So I will show you that a little bit later, and we will be doing a giveaway for Hanlon Motorsports, which I'm pretty sure that cert was that's for anything on the site. I think that cert was already taken up, so that's a good thing. Yeah, so McBride, I'm still rocking the axles and spool you sold me. Been 130 on 4-lug stuff I brought. Yeah, so making horsepower mods work for you. Like, we live in a day and age like where we're on the phone with TikTok and Instagram and even Facebook Reels, to where, let me just be real with you guys. Like, you only see the best of the best. Like, you never see, like, you always see like me making a pass at the track. You didn't see the 10 passes it took before me, you know, before that, trying to adjust, trying to change tire pressure, weight reduction. You don't see the struggle that we see coming up to that best pass that I made, or one of the best passes that I made. But you also, you know, we live in that era to where we just see the best of the best, and then we just swipe through it. You know what I mean? And we kind of get into the whole psyche that we got to have the best to be the best. And to be honest with you, that's completely the opposite of what can actually happen with your build on your Foxbody. You could make things work budget wise that will work just as fine. Like I got expensive wheels and brakes, and I know everyone's like, well, why are you spending all the money on that? Well, hopefully I can get some of that back by racing it and being competitive. But I can't get that stuff budget and cheap. You know, you can't, you know, for the weight reduction, because I was after the weight reduction. But I still got an MSD blaster coil on this thing, which is what, like $30 at AutoZone? I run an Excel distributor on this car that nobody said could last 5 years. I've had it on there 5 years. It's been through 2 engines. It still works. Like I got a set of $30 or a $40 Firewire, Taylor, whatever plugs. Listen, I'm making this car work, and for you know what, for myself. You see what I'm seeing? You see what I'm saying? So like my tire, like my wheels, I'm still running SVEs with some screws in them. You know, I'm still on, you know, what is it? I can't even remember. What is it? It's not a half inch. I'm on half-inch axle stuff. I should be on 5/8. The fact of the matter is we get into that, we go down that path to where we think that we have to have the best of the best to be the best. And to be honest with you, just make the shit work. Like my cars, I enjoy my cars because I'll tinker with them until it just works. Sometimes the lesser of the parts work better than the ones that are expensive. You see what I'm saying? So like, I don't want, like, if you make 1,000 horsepower, or if you make 900 horsepower, can your car handle it? That's another thing. Can your car handle that power? Like you're talking, when you get into the, hey, I want to make 1,000 horsepower. Now I get a couple emails here and there, and I answer emails where people are like, what do you think my combo would do? How much power you think I'll make? And you know what I mean? I try to give them the best of the best of my knowledge when it comes to that. So I'll get back in the chat here in a second. I'll catch up, and I'm sorry, I'm on a tangent here. So you got to try to not overthink, because overthinking it pulls into a rabbit hole. Like I didn't, you know, I don't mean to keep bringing it back up, but when I purchased the wheels and the brakes, I did that tactfully because I knew I was ready for that. That was the next evolution in my white cars, you know, journey to go faster. Sometimes when you do light as might, when you do weight reductions, you can get a car that's working well with all of its mods. And you could get a car to actually go faster by transferring weight around the car and moving it from one place to another. Now that's when you start getting into competitive racing. They start talking about scaling your car. You start talking about 60-40 and 55. You see what I mean? A lot of you, you know, a majority of you may not ever care about that, and there's nothing wrong with that. But what I'm trying to say is you don't need all the mods to make one thing work. Like 1,000 horsepower, you should start thinking about what kind of cage you got in the car, what kind of axle can support that type of power. I got to start thinking about welding the tubes, bracing the axle. You're talking about a spool. Okay, well, the body, you know, 1,000 horsepower is violent. 800, 600, 500, it's violent in these cars. And the fact of the matter is you can't just focus on one mod, like making power, like just turbocharging your stock bottom end motor. Nothing wrong with that. But you got to have a game plan that, hey, I'm going to need to upgrade the brakes. I mean, my black car, I'm living it, man. I'm living it right now, guys. My black car, stock brakes on some drilled slotted rotors. Not even kidding you. Let me get into some chat here. You should do a nitrous combo. We did a nitrous combo on Dad's car. I enjoyed the hell out of it. But the problem I had, Mark, with doing a nitrous combo is I know you probably understand this, is the fact that I always wanted to heat my bottle to like the max. And even if I made one pass, I would go over to Craig and Otto and tell them to fill the bottle up with an extra 3 or 4 pounds. So I was always chasing that perfect bottle pressure. And I was just like, man, I enjoyed it though. We made 480 wheel on Dad's speed density car on a 480 torque wheel, excuse me. It was nasty, bro. What budget combination will make a Foxbody more competitive against these newer cars? To be honest with you, a well put together car. Listen, one thing I've learned with some of this no prep stuff that I've been doing with the stick shift, it's not always the fastest car, the car that makes the most horsepower, or the one that's got the most money in it that wins the event. Be honest with you know, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's about going A to B. Now, when you're out there trying to compete against some of these new cars, I mean, you probably can't compete against the horsepower of some of these cars I'm making now. And just because they have the new Coyote stuff, just because they got a turbo on a Coyote, those things can reach 1,000 horsepower pretty damn easy. But same things apply. Can the car handle that much horsepower? If you make an NA car or a stock bottom end car work really well, it would be hell for a new car to try to keep up with it. You see what I'm saying? KP, do you winter prep your car for storage, and what is your method of madness if you do? Okay, so getting into the mods of the winter really quick, because we're going to actually do a live stream about that another day. I basically take my car's wearable items out. Clutch, we at that point, and if it needs it, like the white car's going to get a different clutch. I send my pumps out. My fuel pumps can be rebuilt at Magna Fuel. I don't know if you guys knew that or not. Matter of fact, I think Aeromotive does the same thing. For like $75, they'll go through the whole pump, clean it, and make sure all the brushes and everything are good. I send my injectors out to get cleaned because they're E85. So as far as the motor is concerned, we run some 93 pump gas through it for a good half of a tank or whatever. So it's got some petro in the motor, not just all E85. And legitimately, we just leave it sit. I mean, these cars don't normally sit anywhere that are cold per se. So one will be in here, one will be at the other shop, and one will probably be in the trailer. So what's up, Spano 5.0? It's good to see you, man. If you guys didn't know, Spano was the Foxtoberfest. Is it best of show? Is that right? Congratulations to him. War Admiral. What's up, Tom? It's good to see you, my man. Can a stock bottom and Explorer motor handle some boost? Absolutely. Buddy of mine, Randy Davis, he might be here in chat or not. Guys who are local to me knows who I'm talking about. Randy, he's been mid tens in his real beautiful. I think it's the dark shadow metallic blue. I think that's the paint code. I think it's dark shadow. No, twilight blue was the 90 plus. Dark shadow was it's a 92 or something. Anyways, he's got a stock bottom end 302 in that from an Explorer, and he's got an F cam. He's big on F cam. McBride, been told for years my stuff would never see fives. Yeah, you got a 408 on 200 shot, don't you? Carbureted. I remember you used to run like a venting hose out of your hood, Stevie. That was crazy. Your cars always went A to B really well. All right, Jason Fields, I appreciate the $9.99 super chat, man. Every week I can always count on Jason being in the channel, supporting the channel. Just by being here and be part of the chat, man. I appreciate it. Matter of fact, this is Jason. I had mentioned to earlier that this is our conversation that we had earlier in the week. This is kind of what sparked up the live stream. So I appreciate that. 650 Motorsports, what's up? My man Edgar out there in the West Coast. If you guys need some Foxbody stuff done, he can tune too. So make sure you check him out. He's in San Francisco Bay. We're an East Coast thing, so it's nice to have a connection out there in the West Coast. So anybody who's out in that area. 650 is your man to go to. I'm telling you right now. Country, currently, what do you say? Currently, I'm doing a fuel system, and wow is all I can say. Not only is it more expensive, yes. So fuel systems are not cheap. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. When it's done, it's done. And the nice thing about having fuel systems, especially if you do I did the PTFE and is it Fragola ends. They're all really good. But like we got the Magna fuel pump, and like I said, there's a little bit of customer support. Instead of having to buy a $600 pump, another one, they actually, just like McLeod Racing, and I think Ram does the same thing. Correct me if I'm wrong. You could send your parts back out and have them rebuilt for a fraction of the cost, folks. Thoughts on E85? Well, E85 is probably the best fuel for its buck. Adventure Super Days, you have to justify the mods like bulletproof. Like blow-proof bell housing is worth a broken ankle. That's correct. So you have to justify, like when you're doing upgrading mods to your build, you got to do them, you know, they got to be purposeful. And now, if you're building a car that you just want to build, and just to be, you know, to have something that's super nice, that's show. My cars will never be show quality. Show quality. My cars are nicked and they're clean. They're a good 10-footer. But you know, I would never. I mean, I don't. If you want to see a pretty perfect Fox body, you go look at Mario's and you go check out Tom's car. You go check out some of these cars at these events. They'll just, you know, they'll blow your mind on how meticulous and how beautiful they are. But my car, you know, when I say purposeful mods, I have to have the type of mods that are going to actually work in my favor, like they're doing right now with my, you know, drag racing and stuff like that. So, but there's nothing against, you know, there's nothing wrong with doing a show quality car, because there's a lot of really cool, like, and I want to touch on it real quick. There's a lot of passion you can see in the build. Like I think Tom's got a one-off diffuser. Is that right? In the back. He's got a couple one-off things that are in his car that are just cooler than shit, you know, and it makes it worth me going to the events to see some of the things that he does to his car. Same thing with Mario, you know, I mean, just beautiful cars, just tier 1. I know this isn't for sale deal, but I'm going to have my nasty nitrous cam for sale out of a 410. There you go. If somebody's looking for a nitrous cam, Stevie McBride got it. Larry Tonini. Did I get it right? What's up, brother? Jess Workman. Should I build my all-original 87 50LX 5-speed with 90,000 horsepower? Should I build up? Now, explain to me what you mean by building up. Like, there's a lot of really good content out there on YouTube. I know that Foxcast has a really fire video about top 5 mods, first 5 mods, not top, but first. I think Brutal does the same thing. There's some really good quality content out there. You should go check out, Jesse. Make sure, because I don't think I've ever done. I did a couple live streams like that, and maybe you should check those out for if you're trying to do a. We'll let it come back. Give me a thumbs up when it's back. Let it come back. Give me a thumbs up when it's back. Oh, let me know if the quality clears up too, because I think it does that sometimes as well. So built for different reasons, different approaches. Both are awesome. Absolutely. Like, there's just no doubt about it. That's what makes the events nice, and that's why I like coming to the events, because you know, everybody brings a little bit something different to the event. And it's just always nice to see, you know, a community come together at like Foxtoberfest or Ford Takeover, Mustang Week. You know what I mean? Especially, you know, Mustang Week, we're kind of outnumbered because like we're like a car of the past. So having that cruise is really kind of important. Fat Boy Fox, what's up, man? Daniel Robinson, everybody's good. Okay, so let's see check the quality. Yep, we look good. All right. So moving on with the mods. We were talking, like, another thing that, you know, and I want to go back into what I was talking about earlier, you know, 1,000 horsepower, 900 horsepower, 800 horsepower. That shit is violent, guys. You have to almost know that you have to do something to your car to keep it, to be able to handle that. Like, you know, so many times we get into I want to make horsepower, and we get, you know, we forget things like drive shaft loops. We forget things like, you know, 1350 joints. We forget things like, you know, 31 spline, 35 spline, spools, you know, true lock differentials, clutches. Clutches are a big one. We forget subframes. You know, we get so caught up in just this number, right? And it's just like, like what I did with my white car is just a pure experience. I'm not here bragging about anything, gloating, nothing. I like to take some of the things and share it on the channel, whether someone likes it or not. That's up to them. But we purposely built this car. I mean, putting a 76 millimeter turbo on a 408 stroker ain't exactly the best idea, because anybody who knows that motor, it's got cubes in it, man. It's going to move some air. So putting a single 96, 76 on the car, I like choke the car up a little bit. But did I? I purposely built, I could put a bigger turbo on there, probably make more horsepower. But considering that we're already pretty much at the block's limit, per se, in the junkyard production block, I'm making 750, 800 work for me. So what I started thinking, earlier in the year is like, well, okay, the car's fast, but what can we do to make it go faster? We already know it can achieve 950s at 3,300 pounds. Well, how about we take some of this stuff out of the car and change the car up a little bit and see where it goes. So very happy with the progress, but I'm making the horsepower work for me. And some of the things that's happened along the way is I figured out that my brakes sucked, and I figured out that the wheels were too heavy. I figured out that there's just a lot of mods that need the support. Like I need to get another drive shaft loop in there. I already had the 1350 joints, so that's the one that's often overlooked. And when you start making horsepower, you start twisting yokes. I mean, you can snap drive shafts off, or the tail shaft housing. There's a lot of things that have to support just that 1,000 horsepower or that 900 or that 800. There's nothing wrong with making that power, but always, 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 if you're going to make that much horsepower, you've already got a lot of money in your car. So you've already got a game plan. Have a game plan is the most important thing you can do when you're getting ready to. It doesn't even matter if it's a Thunderbird, if it's a Foxbody. I don't care what you got. It's having a game plan to be able to support what you're trying to build is probably the most important message that I'm trying to get across here. Adventure with Super Dave, man, I appreciate the super chat every week, man. I appreciate you, coming in and supporting the channel, man. Just being here and being part of the chat, I do appreciate you. You find the leak real quick. You find that we. All right, so real quick, I've just been out of my mind with this leak. My car's been leaking pretty good, and it looked like it was a rear main seal. It absolutely wasn't. My Canton oil pan, I'm going to do a little short on it this week. You guys will see it. It's funny. I literally used a whole can of freaking Right Stuff. The Right Stuff gasket sealer, the shit that gets really hard to take off. And my pan is leaking like all over the place. All the welds, like the welds where you got the bung that you screw in for the drain. Like there's a weld around there, it's TIG. So it's leaking around the welds and shit. It just drives me crazy. So we ended up finding out that our dipstick fitting was coming out. We figured out that 3 of our welds were cracked or whatever, and it was leaking. So we put a bunch of Right Stuff on there. Don't leak no more. Foxbody Addiction, what's up? So Foxbody Addiction, hit me up on Instagram and Facebook, which I have multiple platforms. So you guys check it out at Neomustangs. He actually ended up ordering a whole TKX swap. So big shout out to him, man. Did you know that he had these as well? Did he sell you one of these with the kit, Fox Addiction? This is the TKX shifter. And like I said, we're going to be, I'm going to show you a T56 shifter here in a little bit. And we're going to do a giveaway with a cert. I think so. Is that right? Yeah. Yes. So that's exactly it, Edgar. Every mod has to have a supporting mod. You have to have a good game plan going into your builds. Expecting to make 1,000 horsepower. Because it's a 4-digit number. Everyone's excited about making 1,000 horsepower. It's a nice, it's a nice badge of honor to be able to make a 4-digit number. Definitely cool. But when you start thinking about making that much power, you start thinking, especially in stick shift cars, well, what transmission are you running? What clutch you got, what bell you got, because you want to keep your legs. You don't want to lose your flywheel. What U-joints, you start thinking about supporting mods, you know what I mean? And you can get away with some things and it not be a big deal. But there are some mods that need to be done. You can't just make 1,000 horsepower and then not make your car support 1,000 horsepower. You see what I mean? Or even 750. Let me tell you what, 500 is the funnest shit I've ever seen. Making 500 horsepower can win races. I mean, even if it's naturally aspirated, you know, it's fun. These Fox bodies only weigh, especially on a weight reduction diet, 2,800. You know what I mean? 3,000, and it doesn't even look stripped. And you put a motor in there that makes, you know, 500 horsepower. You have you know, you're gonna have a hell of a time having some fun. You know what I mean? Kevin Parsons, recommended fuel system upgrades needed for 500 wheel forced induction. Stock lines, okay? Yes. So you can get away. One way that we do it here at the dyno shop, one way you can get away with stock rails, stock regulator, is if you wire your pump and you don't know what I'm talking about. Am I speaking too loud? It sounds like I'm yelling, doesn't it? Anyways, if you wire your pump, make sure that your pump's working at, if you got a 340 or a 425 or even the new Hellcat pump, whatever those are, make sure, you know, the pump's got 10 gauge. It's got it's got as much voltage and amperage as it can get. You know, that's one way you can get away with stock rails. Another way is being able to run bigger injectors as well. So you run like an 80s instead of 60s, because 60s would be okay at 500, but the bigger the injector, you know, the more pump you got wired, you'd be just fine on stock rails, stock regulator at 500 wheel all day long. I apologize if you've gone over this before, but do you have a preference when it comes to canted valve versus inline heads? I'm going to be honest with you. I really don't have a preference. And it has been brought up before. Man, I appreciate you, KPKP. What's up, Lamar Richardson? Good to see you. I don't know if you showed Hanlon the updated pictures of your car that you're doing. Looks really good, man. No, but I will be ordering one soon. Oh, okay. So was it somebody ordered a kit last week? Use a flux capacitor. So, yeah, I wanted to show you guys the other. You guys want to see the other? You guys want to see the T56 shifter too? Give me some thumbs ups for you T56 guys. Man, I appreciate that. Are you going to be welding all my the halo bar up and everything, the pillars? That's going to change the way that car leaves too. If you guys don't know who McBride Racing is, like I said, it's a local friend of ours that he also no preps. He was running the hard tire class for a long time. I think he went back to small tire, and he's going to be doing a big turbo type setup. But been racing around Steve and his dad for a long time. Very, very good racers. We're going to be working on a lot of shock stuff this year, Steve. I'm going to do a little bit of content on it on the channel, but you know, that's where we're at with this car outside of the normal maintenance stuff that we're doing now and the upgrades. You know, we'll be working, you know, crazy on shock settings. Huge shout out to Lamar, fellas. Get him making those wood carvings. Yeah, the wood carvings are sweet. So let me show you the shifter real quick, and then I'll show you the TKX one again. I think I ordered this shifter like 6 months ago. I should have put it in, but I didn't. I still got to get my transmission out because Mike over at Ram is supposed to be setting me up with a possible twin disc. I don't know. He's got a pretty nasty little clutch that he wants me to run. Or Hanlon. I'm sorry, Hanlon has a pretty nasty clutch that he wants me to run in this little monster behind me. All right. So this is the Hanlon. You guys with the T56s, pay attention. You got the TKX one right here, which, like I said, this is brand new. It is for order. I don't know how much they're, like $400, something like that. It's got stops on it. This is TKX. It's got stops on the turret. I don't think the other ones do. It's got a 27% shorter throw. I don't even see that, man. That looks good. The turret underneath looks real good. So let's open this up. So yeah, we were leaking from the other. We were leaking from the other. Yeah, so it says on his site that there's pre-order on these shifters. That's fake news. They're out. They're out right now. We got about 10 or 15 of them or something like that, and with more on the way. Or he does. I'm sorry. When are you going to try out the new brakes and the front disc at the track? I just did this past weekend. We'll talk about it here in a minute. We'll talk about the brake break-in real quick, and then we'll go about our business. Boom! Look at that, dude. Handler Motorsports. See, I got the OG one in here. The OG one, like Bob's car, is like a silver brown. Like the website colors are about the same as Bang & Bob, which is, you know, Hanlon's dad, Andrew's dad. Bang & Bob Hanlon. Anyways, the original one was like a brown and like yellow, and this is the updated version. So I'm leaking from inside here, face-plated stuff. So I'm going to send it back. This is the T56 shifter, just so you guys know. It's a badass piece of equipment right here. I've went through, I think I got this in the original T56 years ago. Actually, your dad gave it to me years ago when I bought the kit swap. Don't expect to get that if you order a kit. It was just he just hooked me up. I mean, I don't know, it's 5 years. So it's just now started leaking. So there you have it, guys. Handler Motorsports, TKX, T56 shifters. Those are badass, man. Anyways, 65 and 25. Hit that like button, boys. Ladies and gentlemen, Pop's car is gunmetal gray and black, but it's got like a brown thing, brown, I don't know, whatever, orange. Call it what you want. Guys, I don't get nothing from showing you guys these shifters. Like, I've been doing good business with Hanlon outside of YouTube for over a decade. I mean, this is just me supporting their product. I actually use their product, and it's pretty badass shit. I'm not even kidding with you. Excuse my French for anybody who's watching. But if it's stamped, you know, it's got a stamp of approval through Hanlon, then it's good enough for me. So don't think twice spending that money. Anyways, going back to the mods, we're about 45 minutes in. You guys are welcome to, this is shop talk, man. This is tech talk. So you guys are welcome to ask me any sort of questions in the chat, Foxbody related, that you might need a little bit of help with or a little bit of advice. I'll try to answer it the best I can. And regardless, even if I can't answer it, I'm sure there's somebody here in chat that probably could. So yeah, TKX shifters are $339.95, which is actually a really good price considering how much money they got in them. Stephen King, I got my TKX about a year ago. What shifter did they come with then? Are these shifters new upgrades? Yeah, so the ones that are actually in the car are stock, and they're not terrible, but they don't have stops. And the shift is, and I've complained about it in my videos, the shift, it's got a real long shift to it. So what this shifter will do is shorten the shift for about 30%. So, and plus it's got stops, so you can bang through them pretty good. I'll be excited to see how well it shifts. But anyways, back to the discussion at hand. I'll keep answering best I can here, guys. I appreciate your content, brother. I recently purchased GT40 heads from you. I have an F-cam going in as F-cam's great for GT40 stuff. Do you think I will have any clearance issues? Absolutely not. F-cam, GT40 heads, send it, my friend. You're going to have a good time with them. Turbo Squatch 302. Do you use an on-3 wide pipe? I'm trying to go back to full exhaust, and it fits horribly. Yeah, I do not. My white car is, we use the on-3 modified kit on the white car here, but we're 3.5 to 4 aluminum all the way out the back. Black car runs the B&G kit, which is similar. Also, Pony Down has bought his jigs, so I think Pony Down still offers it in like the stage 1 or first version 1, whatever. I don't know. I couldn't speak for Pony Down, so I don't think I own anything from them. But I built my own white pipe. Matter of fact, 650, who's sitting here in chat, has his own YouTube channel. So if you guys are interested in getting some Fox Tech shit, 650's got his own YouTube channel. I want you guys to go check out. Got about 2,000 subscribers, and he's working on a Cobra right now, which might pique some of your guys' interest. But one of the things I wanted to tell you is he created a video. He did a really nice job with it, where he actually did a similar dual exhaust. It went from 3.5 to 3-inch merge collected back into 2 mufflers and tailpipes, just much like I did in the black car, if you guys remember that. So he did a really nice job with that. You guys got to go check that out. Yeah, I agree, Jason. Those shifters are a bargain. At $339, it's probably one. I mean, I'm not going to say it's the first TKX one that's on the market. I don't think it is at all, but it's still badass. Man, I appreciate you, Keen. When we put in a turbo 518, I'll probably never do a big block. If I did anything, I would do an aftermarket 427. Sean Fisher, how much static compression would you suggest on boost less than 20 pounds? It's still 93 octane. To be honest with you, with the compression question, like when you get up into the, I think a well-rounded motor is one that makes about 10.5, 10.2 to 1. 93 octane, I get the whole idea behind 93 octane being cheap, but to be honest with you, the money that you would save in running E85, and E85 really doesn't give a shit about compression. We run 11 2 to 1 on my black 363, my black car, and we probably every bit of 10.5, 10 3/4 to 1 here on the white car. So E85 likes timing. It burns cold. It's oxygenated. You get it for $3 a gallon, and right now 93 pump gas is like $5 a gallon. So consider running E85 for a year or two, and you probably pay for your own fuel system. But static compression, at least E85, you don't have to worry about questions like that. But as far as 93 is concerned, if you start putting money into your motor, and I've preached this for the last 10 years on my channel, go do yourself a favor, go out there and buy you some 110, some $10 a gallon 110 at like a fuel store. I mean, if you don't drive your car all that much, then mixing fuel isn't necessarily a bad thing to do. Take it easy, Broken Tool. Shop Talk, looking forward to next year already. We have a lot of winter upgrades to stuff to do, so we're pretty excited about moving forward. That's right. Talking about expanding the shop too. I'm cutting mine up, making it work, wondering if any others have the same issue. What a turbo thing. Okay, so it's not uncommon to have to do that. Just, mock it up best you can. Do you feel a winner reaching 9 seconds going on 8s with a junkyard over modern expensive cars? Not really. I mean, it's kind of overdue. I could have been messing, I've got one car that's got the better engine. I got one car that's faster than that. One car's got the better transmission. The other car's got the better axle. I appreciate the the comment though, for sure. But it should have been, I can't just have one Foxbody. I got to have them all, right? I got to have this car and that car I drive around the street. And I got this car I race and drive around the street. It's just like I should just focus on one, and I could probably make a whole bunch more horsepower. I mean, I get into the whole rabbit hole on too many of these cars. What do you think the latest electric power steering mod from the Volvo? That's a pretty cool mod. Who did that? Who did that video? That was Dula, wasn't it? Didn't Mike do that video? You guys don't know who I'm talking about? House of Dula down there in Texas? I think it's Texas. Yeah, Mike's been doing content for many years, so I think he did the electric power steering mod. We're going to be doing at an hour. When we're about an hour in, we'll do the certificate. Hanlon, what are we giving away? Yeah, it's definitely hard to just have one, Edgar. That's for sure. I mean, the black car is like my real, like today I drove around all day on it. Like I went out to the dyno shop and met met mad scientist Dave Dalt. If you guys don't know who it is, he's the guy who tunes with me. He's also the guy, he built some badass engines. So I went out there, he mocked up a flywheel for me, cut a flywheel for me, and mocked up a bell housing that had a broken screw or whatever. But went grocery getting with my black car. I was all over the place today. I probably put 100 miles on that car today. ETA 85, boy, I'll tell you that. Woo! I know some kid in California did one. Did what? Oh, the electric power steering mod. Yeah, right now, Dylan, you ain't lying, bro. I mean, these things, listen, I don't know if you guys, some of you guys might need to hear this, and I might need to actually make a video of it. I hate to say this, but we're going to have to be prepared for price jumps. It's coming. Who showed me? Was it you, Andrew, that showed me the email you got, or somebody showed me? I forget what company it was. Said that everything's increasing by like 17%. That's insanity. Like parts are just getting, like, having more than one Foxbody modded up is just going to be difficult. And then you gotta rely on marketplaces and secondhand parts, which isn't a big deal, but damn. I just realized I had a coupe in the garage I've been ignoring and working on a Cobra so much lately. That's exactly the nice thing about having multiple Fox bodies, at least on a YouTube channel, is you can kind of go back and forth between a couple of them. Like the white car right now, we're really happy with it. I want to chase a couple more numbers, maybe a couple more passes in the year left for it. I know I got a scheduled, date for the upgrades on some of this, this chassis stuff with Stevie McBride, who's here, and his dad here, and they do really, really good TIG work, really good welding, fabrication work, and it shows in everything that he does. Matter of fact, the 3,000 horsepower Maverick you see here on the channel, my good buddy Dan Bosco, he did a lot of welding on that car too. So I'm looking forward to doing some updates, and you guys are gonna, some of you may watch the video, some of you may not, but I mean, we're gonna update that car and make it stronger. But again, having more than one Fox body, I gotta have one I can just kind of cruise around in, and that's what the black car's for. Have you ever had an issue with Hyper Eutectics? I have too. Never really had an issue. I've never really ran them. I'm a big Foxbody TRW forged piston guy. Must be nice, Edgar. Can't wait to see what you do with that Cobra. Right. So, like, again, Edgar 650's got a YouTube channel, which you guys go check out. If you're interested in running a turbo exhaust, I got a video as well, but he did a better job than me for sure. Not me, but on a side note, honestly, if anyone is thinking about buying a transmission, do it now. Tremec is raising prices, so there you have it. Hanlon is a elite Tremec dealer. Just saying, we're not here to try to engorge the community with buying transmissions and misinformation. It is going to happen. Everybody's following suit. So come 2023, some of this stuff. I don't know if you guys have seen the price of AFRs, but I had no idea they were in like the almost 3,000 range. I'm like, son of, I was like, that's expensive. Like the 205s that I got running on my cars, crazy. Modifying is for the person that can do everything themselves instead of buying the parts. Well, there's also something to be said about being able to modify and having a vision. I have friends of mine that have very, very high quality Mustangs that just don't have the time to, they have the vision and they have the mechanical skill to do it. But like some of them work like 60 hours a week and they make silly money. So they make sure that they want to have something that they can call their own. So there's something to be said about that as well. I mean, there are people that can do it but don't have the time to do it. May have family, maybe a job, but there are something to be said about that. I need to start on this Capri and leave my car alone. Never. Dan, you're the Mustang master, bud. Just got to show all these guys. I appreciate you, Dylan. Nah, man, show it up. I'm always appreciating anybody. Dude, if you wrench on your Foxbody, you're good with me. The only thing I've been preaching all year is don't overthink it. I don't give a damn if you got to put some stock parts on it. Get it together, get it on the street, and have some fun. You know what I mean? You can always build around shit as long as it's running. I heard the T56 Magnums are going up to, geez, that's almost 10%. Donnie B's in the house. If you guys don't know who Donnie B is, he is the one of the lead managers at Anderson Ford Motorsports. So there you have it. I can confirm that point from Hanlon. All of our steel and aluminum components are going up so much, so make your money work more for you as if you can. That's correct. Just like I was talking about with these mods. Like, there's going to be, modifying our cars are just going to be just because of the way the industry is right now. I mean, I guess that's it, right? It's materials, right? It's back orders. It's supply and demand. Like me, man, I'm in trade school to get my ticket plus balance. That's right. Robert C. 90 Foxbody, Kenny Bell 17. 264 XR, JBA Shorty, ported lower, OEM heads, trick flow springs. Most course running rich on driver's side. One of your injectors is dumping. Check your, you might have an injector driver that's going bad as well in your A9L too. So most likely when you got a rich bank, usually has something to do with either your computer driver or your injector. One of your injectors are just firing open. So check that out, Robert C. Lloyd Green, price increase aren't the problem. It's the availability. That are turning people. That's correct. So the availability, it's back orders. It's kind of the same, same way of saying two things. So, yeah, it's crazy. War Admiral at Donnie B. What cam for a 306 AFR 165s? Car will be NA. I got an axle brace that when my buddy bought, it has what was it, 149? And mine months ago was 2. Right. So I don't want you guys to get discouraged by not being able to buy things. Don't get wrapped up in the, oh my God, I'm never going to have these parts available or whatever. Guys, I've done some amazing shit with a T5. Had some fun with it. Still haven't broke a couple of them. I've done some really cool shit with the stock bottom end 302 GT40 stuff. Guys, I've practically built my own turbo headers and turbo setups. Have some fun with it. Look, you could choose to be like, there's two ways you can go about this. You could choose to be sad about having to pay double what it was 3 years ago, or you could go out there and do some of this stuff yourself and just enjoy your Foxbody. A majority of us, I enjoy it too. Just stock bottom in, throw a set of heads on there you found on Marketplace. Hell, throw some GT40s on there that you found in the junkyard. Maybe, maybe throw a carburetor on there. Maybe throw an intake that you found, or even another GT. If you found GT40 heads in in a junkyard, most likely the intake was on top of it. You had to take off anyways. So you can pull some pretty cool power out of stuff like that. Rockers are there's some key component pieces that you can't cheat, but you can get a hold of. It'd be a nice thing to have, like 1.7 rockers. They're the Cobra ones that I always like. Having a good camshaft. It doesn't even have to be a good one. It just has to be a camshaft. You know what I mean? You can make some stuff work for you guys. So don't get crazy on the fact that you'll never be able to mod past a certain level, because opportunities will always come and go. And you'll see somebody on Facebook Marketplace that might be selling a set of AFRs or something that you just happen to be able to buy from. So that you could upgrade it and stuff. So N41 is a really nice camshaft. Yes, it is. More YouTubers' cars are just sitting in the garage waiting on parts. My car, no. We're out there. I don't, you know, we got parts, and I'm not waiting on no man. I just got any time to put some of this stuff together. You know what I mean? So what happened this weekend? We'll talk about that here for a second. Again, if you guys that are just joining the channel, we're going to be doing a giveaway here in about 5 minutes. Andrew, what are we giving away? TKX. I just want to show guys just showing up into the channel. Brand new TKX shifter. And of course, this is the badass little T56 shifter. So I want to show y'all. I'm going to continue to show it because I told Andrew that I would show off some of his shifters here on the channel tonight. Yeah. The motor in the car made 685 on 18 pounds of bead cam. See? And let me tell you what. If you can achieve 500 wheel power in your Foxbody, you will have, like, if you're looking to make more power, like, that's a great number to shoot for. You could make almost 500 on a stock rebuild with E7 heads with a good turbo setup and a good tune. We did it on Project Hot Wheels. We made, what did we make? 478, 500 wheel on a Mustang dyno. We ran 1090s and the car didn't have a, I mean, it was like 3,400 pounds. It was huge. So it's out there, guys. Hamlin swag bag. Mr. Whoops. 500 is perfect. You're 100% right, Lamar. Hey, Dan, would you be interested in some Foxbody parts? I can send you a pic. A bunch of miscellaneous north of Detroit. Yeah, very possibly. You guys can always reach me on Instagram or Facebook, not Marketplace, but Facebook business at Neomustangs. So anyways, what are we giving away, Hanlon? Are you on my phone? No. He hasn't answered me yet, has he? What's the best heads for a 351? 351, 357, you can get away with AFR 185. You can do Trick Flow 190s. There's an 11R. But Donnie B can chime in on some of this too. You get up past 357, though. You get into the 363, 387, 393, 408 style. To be honest with you, I'd probably go to an AFR 72cc. Big fan of that head. Take some of the compression out. Got my Ford 47 injectors. Thanks for your input. I appreciate that, Rob. So, Hanlon, what are we giving away? We can do that. Lamar said a swag bag from Hanlon. Okay. So which consists of what? Is it just a surprise bag or what are we doing here? So, all right. Do you have experience with Iron Windsor senior heads? We actually have 2 sets of them. We haven't tried them yet. We have the Victor Juniors. We don't have senior heads. I take that back. We have junior heads. My bad. What pound injector would you be best for a 347? Naturally aspirated. I'd go 42s and take fuel out of the injector in the tune. Boosted 80s. That's pump gas stuff. That's not E85. Consider this, guys. E85 is always about 30% more fuel flow. Does that make sense? Because E85 consumes about 30. The rule of thumb is 30% more fuel, 1-to-1 ratio. So you'll go through 1.3 gallons of E85 for every 1 gallon of 93. Does that make sense? I think that's how it works. I'm no mathematician. Hat, tee, and stickers. So, okay, we're going to do the hat, tee, and stickers. So we're going to do a little bit of Hanlon swag. Probably be a hat like this or the black one that he has. A Hanlon t-shirt, which you guys seen me wear here on the channel. And some stickers with Hanlon. Are we cool with that? You got to cut. We also got a ton of cool stuff to put in the bag too. So swag bag up for grabs. I'll take a new TKX shifter. Okay, so here we go. Lamar, give me a hashtag. Since you thought of the giveaway, which is really awesome. Appreciate the the collaboration here for sure. Give me a hashtag. And a $25 gift card. Nice. That's good for anything in his store, by the way, which could be, it could go towards something or it could just be spent like normal money. So big shout out to Hanlon for the he loves to do some giveaways. He's got lots of stuff to give to the community. I know he has been, shouting out to me, the last couple weeks, like, hey, let's do more giveaways and stuff like that. So hope you guys appreciate that. Make sure you give Hanlon a big thumbs up. Again, check out his shifters. He does all the transmission stuff. GM, Ford, Chevy, it don't matter. So there you have it. Hashtag HMS. HMS. And I will scroll through and I will pick a winner for the Hanlon swag bag. That includes a t-shirt. That includes a hat, a t-shirt, and what else did he say? Hat, t-shirt, a bunch of stickers, $25 gift card, and a bunch of other shit that he's got sitting next to his desk. So, the winner, you just contact me in email, and then I'll give you the code that we come up with. So, big shout out to Andrew at Hanlon Motorsports. So while this goes through a little bit, I'll let this run for a minute. We'll talk about what happened this weekend. We went to another no prep, so big shout out to D Team for sponsoring, with the glitter traction compound, and D Team for sponsoring being at Pacemakers. We drove down to Pacemakers, which is down by Columbus in Ohio. Just a great event. Had a good stick shift. Went through 3 rounds of stick shift. Ended up losing in the finals to John Kinter. Now, if you guys don't know who John Kinter is, he's got a really, really nice, naturally aspirated 347 Foxbody. That thing goes A to B every time. And so big shout to John. Had a great night. We ended up spinning the tire and ended up messing up second gear, and I just couldn't recover fast enough in the 8th mile. In a quarter mile, probably could have caught him and passed him. But, that's no prep racing, guys. Just the way it is. You got to go A to B. And I'm not ashamed to say that I lost. Not at all. John has a really good car. He puts a lot of time into it. And, shout out to him for winning that. So he won himself about $500. And I had a great time. It's just the environment and the experience. So, this no prep thing is really kind of growing on me, man. And I'm really excited to be at more events. We got about 10 of them to do next year. So big shout to John Kinter for the big win yesterday at the stick shift. I think he's actually taking his motor out now. He was having some smoking problems on his engine too. He couldn't figure it out. We were talking and we think it's a valve guide or whatever. Not to talk about his engine or anything, but that thing sure went A to B for sure. So, okay, here we go. We're good on the hashtags, guys. We're good on the hashtags. I'm going to go ahead and pick a winner. And I'm going to scroll through. Let me see if we go like this. And we landed on, I don't even know what the thing's at. Daniel Robinson. Daniel Robinson won a swag bag from Hanlon Motorsports. Congratulations, my man. Yep, is that right? Yep, right here. Congratulations, Dan Robinson, for the swag bag, my man. So you could just contact me on Facebook or whatever, bud. Just hit me up. And then I'll give you the code for you can contact him. Again, that's $25 gift certificate on his site. Anything on his site or goes towards something, Dan. And plus, he's going to put a bunch of shit in that bag. So make sure you let Neo know what size T-shirt you are. Yes. Congratulations, Dan Robinson. So we got about 10 more minutes, guys, and then I'm going to call it 10, 15. I don't know. When we get into some discussions, we'll get into it. Yeah, I appreciate that, Mo. Yeah, no prep racing's no joke, man. I enjoy the shit out of it. Like, I actually have a purpose. I had a purpose for my white car running 950s years ago at a pedal event but we only did like 1 or 2 of them a year. At least now with the no prep and how much interest is in it, at least in Ohio. I'm excited to be able to go to more events. I know I'm going to go to pretty much every one of D Team's things next year. I'm pretty sure they got an 8-race schedule. So I will post that schedule if you guys want to see it. Maybe you guys come down. That's near Ohio or in Ohio. You guys can come out and root us on. We're going to have a nice little squad of people that are going to start going to more no preps. We got the 3,000 horsepower Maverick that's heading up there. We're building something this winter for no prep. That's not even my car. And yeah, maybe even Cousin Paul go down. I don't know. Go down and go down the track down there. So better chance to win if you keep posting the hashtag. No, it's always kind of a thing that you should just do one, but it is what it is. Sometimes lag shows more, but who's leaving? You leaving? All right, Jason, it's good seeing you, my man. I appreciate you coming in and supporting the channel. Big shout out to Jason Fields on the $10 super chat monetization for the channel, man. All that stuff goes towards the channel. And I do appreciate the conversation we did have, Jason. Thank you so much. Say no to TKO. Say no to TKO. Oh, yeah. So anybody's interested, I will have a very nice rebuilt, freshened up TKO 500 faceplate. It's a 327 first gear. I will be selling one of my TKOs. I'm done with them. So if you're interested, I'm looking to get $3,000 for it. I think that's pretty fair considering the fact that, parts are hard to get right now. You can't even get faceplate stuff for the next 4 months. It will be freshened up. It's at Hanlon Motorsports right now. His dad, Bang & Bob Hanlon's, cursing at me every other minute that it's there, but it is what it is. Me and Andrew. Andrew's got something that he's getting for rebuilding the transmission that I think you guys are going to enjoy in the channel too. So. I need a few weekends off. Have GT40, F-Cam, 42-pound injectors. All right. I like what you're doing with the white car weight loss. Yeah, I appreciate that. Dylan, all right, boys, time to learn some trigonometry. Oh, boy. I tell you what, man. Hey, you do you. Keep learning, man. Keep learning. Get that education. If that's what you're doing, man. Good to you. Good for you. All right, so what do we have coming up on the channel this week? Honestly, guys, I didn't film shit this weekend. I was going to film the no prep, and I forgot the cameras about an hour into my trip. Go figure. I will throw something together, though, if you guys want me to. I did have the camera of me actually racing and facing me. And my buddy Corey, so shout out to Corey Banks for pouring puddles for me again this past weekend. So he did some footage a little bit. You could also go check out Steve Hendricks videos over. I'm gonna share them. Have you looked into the 2021 GT500 injectors? I have not. The shorts are great, bro. I love seeing them. I appreciate that, man. I just put the shorts up there to gain a little bit of interest. I know that we live in a, tiki-taki, Instagrammy, like everything's fast with the reels and stuff. But I enjoy reels myself. I ain't gonna lie. So, me doing those 1 or 2 minute videos, I mean, you still get a little bit of monetization from it. I mean, you don't make shit from it, but, they're just cool to make. And they're pretty easy. So you should really see, wait till you see the short about how much freaking Right Stuff gasket sealer I put on my oil pan. It looks ridiculous. Ridiculous. Anyways. So, to be honest with you guys, in closing, I like to race my car for fun. I enjoy it a lot. It brings, me and cousin Paul and my family. He's my, my first cousin. He's like my brother. He's my best friend. My dad. I got a small circle of friends that we race with. We just have a blast, man. It's just like, some of you guys may not have that. And I'm not saying that's good or bad. It's just, I just wanted to tell you that I like to share, that stuff with you guys, and I don't put videos up to try to, act like I'm the fastest guy in the world. Hell no. I'm not anywhere near, the speed and the power level of some of these cars out there, but, I make do with what I have. I set out for a goal, to make 750, 800 horsepower. At first it was 500, man. And it was like, damn, if I can make 500, I'll never have to touch this car again. And that's when it started happening where, you make 500 and then you make 550. Then you're like, damn, man, I'm going to break my block. You split a block. I'm like, damn, you got to start all over. So don't get caught up in chasing a number. You know what I'm saying? Make do with what you got. I could buy so many other parts for the white car and make it better. I just don't want to. My car works. I have freaking a blast with it, and I want to share that with you guys on the channel. And I just wanted to make sure it's clear that, I don't do any of that to try to make anybody feel inferior because their car doesn't make that much horsepower or go that fast. I'm just basically out there just trying to do what I do, try to show the evolution of the white car or the black car, and just have fun with family and friends. So that's really what it's all about. You know what I mean? It's about a hobby. It's about being, having fun and enjoying something and building something that you're going to love and cherish for, the rest of your life, or you may sell it and move on to another one. So I want you guys to know that it's not about chasing a number. 1,000 horsepower is violent. 750 is violent. 500 is violent, man. Can you handle it? Can your car handle it? Do you, man? Do what's budget if you have to. Don't be ashamed of that shit. When I lift my hood and people look at my coil, I'm a little bit ashamed. They look at my freaking spark plugs. I got zip ties holding them up. You see what I mean? I'm not ashamed of that shit. My stuff works, and it's not sitting on the stands. I sat there all week last week trying to figure out where the hell my shit was leaking from. Excuse my French. I've been saying that a lot today. I apologize, but I didn't give up. And the one last thing we did was maybe I just got too much oil in the car. So we ended up draining all the oil and wasting $60 in oil. We didn't waste it, but I gave it to my dad to put in his old truck. But we ended up finding out that it was leaking from the welds. And I just wanted to tell you guys that just be persistent with your shit, with your Foxbody. Get it off the jack stands, get it running and drive it and enjoy it. You know what I mean? So I appreciate that, Lamar. I keep it 100 all the time. So, exactly. Fast is fast, no matter how you do it, And if you're driving your car today, your Foxbody today, and I don't mean to make anybody feel bad, but if you're driving your car right now, you're already winning. Just saying. So anyways, with that being said, guys, I just want to say, guys in green, if you're interested in joining the membership and the channel and supporting this, if not, no big deal. I just appreciate everybody for coming into the chat here tonight. I want to give a special shout out to, again, Jason Fields for the $9.99 super chat, and my man Adventures with Super Dave for the $20 super sticker towards the channel. But, not expected, but very much appreciated. I appreciate, congratulations to Daniel Robinson. I'm really excited to make a video about this. We also have a video that's due with the Stiflers. I got a new product from Stiflers that I needed to put on the car. I needed to take the other one off. I just want to let you guys know I appreciate everybody for watching the channel. Got some videos we'll come up with this week. Got a lot of content here in the shop, tons of it. I could vlog all day. But with that being said, I appreciate everybody. Thanks for joining the live stream. Sorry for being late. See you guys soon in the next one.